to do with this page is I'm going to give you 3 examples of 3 annuities, okay? One of them is going to be a 5-year and 2 of them is going to be a 10-year. And this is where I end up getting a lot of questions when I walk around. Just realize that this is not necessarily specifically what's going to work for you. When you come into the office, we're going to come up with your own grid. This is to make you understand the different options and how they work. Some have bonuses. So when you look at a fixed index annuity, there's 5 things that we look at. You'll see them there. Number 1, time. How long of a time commitment is going to require? Number 2, reasonable rate of return. What can we expect to make at this type of investment? Number 3 is going to be fees. How much are we going to pay in fees? Liquidity. Can we take any money out? And is there a bonus? Some have bonuses, some don't. Some are higher, some are lower. I'm going to explain. So option number 1, time. Go ahead and write down 5. So this is a 5-year situation. Reasonable rate of return is going to be between 3 and 4%. Fee is going to be 0. In the fees box, go ahead and write down time. Okay. With these types of accounts, we don't pay fees. We pay with time. Liquidity, 10%. So we have 10% available. And bonus on this one is 0. So write down 0 for the bonus. Option number 2. This is a 10-year product. Reasonable rate of return is going to be between 3 and 6%. Fees are 0. Again, put in time. Liquidity, we have access to 10% per year. This one has a 7% bonus. Okay? And below 7%, go ahead and write down walk away. Okay, walk away. And let me explain. With this type of account, if you start with $100,000, you're going to get a 7% bonus, which means you're going to be at $107,000 day 1. And you're going to start earning interest on your principal and your interest from the beginning. If at the end of 10 years you want to walk away with your money, you can walk away with your principal, interest, and bonus in the account at that point. That's why we call that a walk away bonus. Option number 3. This is also going to be 10 years. Reasonable rate of return is going to be between 3 and 6%. Fees, 0. Again, we pay with time. Liquidity, 10%. And this one has a 30% bonus, 30 bonus. Below the 30% bonus, write down pension or paycheck. Pension or paycheck. And let me explain how this one works. First of all, let me ask you a question. How many of you in here would take your 401k, your 403b, your qualified account, and take the entire balance out in 1 year? Would anyone do that? Most of us wouldn't. Most of our clients, only in one case someone had to do it that I could remember. And the reason why we don't do that is because taxes, right? We're going to pay a lot of taxes. Also, the money's not going to last very long if we're taking it all out in 1 year, right? So the reason why I bring that up is that a lot of our clients, when they have an account that's utilized for income, in other words, maybe you have a 401k, that you're going to take money out over time, and the 10% that you have available to you every single year is going to be more than enough. That's an option where this one would make sense. So when I say 30%, there's a couple of ways how we can draw from that bonus. Number 1, it's a death benefit. So if something happens, if you start with $100,000 and you get a $30,000 bonus, if something happens to you day 1, that's actually happened to one of our clients 3 years later, they passed away, and the beneficiaries don't have to wait the additional time period. You don't have to wait the additional 10 years. It becomes a death benefit immediately. Okay, so it's either a death benefit or the 30% could be used as an income or a pension or a paycheck as long as we take it out over our lifetime instead of taking that all at once. So it really depends on when you come into the office, we're going to talk about what is the purpose of this money and which types of these accounts make sense. This is just giving you some examples of how some of these accounts work. Let's go ahead and turn to page 7. Like I said, in a couple of minutes, I'm going to be walking around and asking any questions, but these are 4 questions that I get every single night, so I want to address these first. And the first one is, what's my financial professional going to say? Here's the thing, okay? I'm not saying what your financial professional is doing is good or bad. They're probably going to say that about me, but what I'm talking about tonight is comparing where you have your safe money. If you just think for a moment, how much do you have invested in bonds, right? How much do you have invested in something safe? You might have 10%, 20%, 30%, whatever your number is. The reason why you did that, the reason why your financial person did that, I know why, is because you didn't want all your money in the market. So we agree in principle, or else you would have had 100% in the market. So go back and look, the money that you have in bonds, is that protecting you during a down market? What I'm saying is that over time, these fixed index annuity green line accounts are a real good vehicle, a real good tool for your safe money that you want to keep safe. Number two, what happens if I die after I buy this? These are going to be contracts with insurance companies. If something happens to you, the money goes directly to your beneficiaries, whether it's your spouse, your children, and there's no probate. It goes, matter of fact, in our office, when one of our client passes within 30 days, beneficiaries have the money, real simple. Question number three, can I move my existing IRAs without paying taxes? Yes. If you have an IRA, we can do something called a rollover, and basically what happens is, the way I look at it is you take the money from one pocket and you put it in another pocket. We're accomplishing safety throughout it, but we don't pay any taxes. Now, how many people in here are still working? Anyone still working? Okay. Some of us are. For those of you that are working, I would like for you to write this down. In-service rollover. In-service rollover. So what happens if you're still working, we want to keep your existing plans open, but a lot of people don't know this. You're actually able to roll over a chunk of money, whatever you want to roll over, into these green line accounts while you're still working. And the reason why people want to do that is because if you keep working and you're waiting until you retire, well, is that going to be an up year or a down year in the market? We don't know. But in service withdrawal, that's always a good place to start to keep some of your money safe as you're getting closer to retirement. The second thing I would like for you to write down is stray 401k. Stray 401k. And let me explain what I mean by this. If you ever worked for another company before, and or you just retired, and you have a 401k or retirement account that you just left there, I call it stray, because you're probably not looking at it, and I can tell you that most certainly no one else is looking at it. So whether you roll it over to, this is the one piece of advice that I'm going to give to you, and it has nothing to do with me, whether you roll it over to the green line that I'm proposing, if you have a stray 401k that no one's looked at, please roll it over somewhere. The reason why I say that is, that 401k that you have there, first of all, it's limited to whatever options that employer has with whatever custodian they have. So maybe they have 10 or 15 different options. But maybe those options don't align with what you want. Now that you're no longer working for them, you can put it wherever you want. You can put it in the bank if you want it. So my point is that if you have a straight 401k, bring that in to talk to me, or do something with it, because no one's looking at it, and you not have the ability to put it in any investment anywhere in the world that you want, and you're keeping it with an employer that has limited options. Okay, so that's something that, homework for you. If you have a straight 401k, take care of it, have someone look at it, because no one's looking at it for you. And that's the most common one that we start with, because usually they come on, I haven't looked at this in 15 years. Okay, let's look at it. Let's see what we do with it. Question number 4, how do I make my money? Here's the thing, is that when you go to a bank, okay, and you buy a CD, okay, you pay commission on a CD? No, the bank pays the person at the bank. I get paid by the insurance company. What's going to happen is this: when you come into the office, we're going to spend the first 15 minutes, okay, talking about whether or not the green line is good for you. Okay, I have no clients here tonight. Usually, we don't have any clients here tonight. I don't know anything about your financial situation. When you come into the office, I'm going to ask a bunch of questions, and we're going to find out in the first 15 minutes if it even makes sense for you. If it does, then we're going to spend about 15-30 minutes picking which product works for you and what insurance company. And then we're going to do paperwork. When we do paperwork, let's say your account's at Fidelity, we're going to do transfer paperwork to have the money go from Fidelity to the new insurance company. In about 2 weeks, the money moves over to the insurance company. At that point, the insurance company pays me. I get paid from their marketing expenses. So that's why I say none of our clients have ever paid us a fee to manage their money, because we get paid from the insurance company. Okay. Julie, can you hand out the last 3 handouts if you will? Okay, and then page 8.
I learned my lesson. I wear a sweater.
You gotta put that on. Bring a sweater.
All right.
I'm sorry.
All right, the first, you guys have 3 handouts, okay? The first one looks like a calendar. It looks like this. Do you guys have the calendar one? Okay. Now, let's talk about, if everyone would just look up here for a moment. So let's talk about the calendar. Now here's the thing, okay? Like I said, we have 3 offices, and we do these seminars twice a week, every single week, okay? And we have 2 days put aside for every seminar that we have for appointments. For example, for this seminar, we have appointments set aside for Friday an appointment set aside for Thursday. Okay, so we have this coming Friday and next Thursday. So here's the thing, I know we're all busy, okay? We're adults here, and I have 3 children, and I have 3 businesses, we're all busy. If you come around, if Julie comes around and you say, I'm going on vacation, we're just gonna assume that you're not interested, right? Because we put two times aside, and if this is something that's important, I'm gonna assume that either this Friday or next Thursday, you're gonna move something around or come into the office for our 1-hour meeting to see if this makes sense for you, okay? If you tell Julia, look, you call me, that's fine, we will, but that's gonna be the next cycle of the next time that we're here. So I just wanna talk about how the appointment bookings work. The second thing that you'll see is what to bring for the appointment. You'll see a handout of a brokerage statement, whatever account you want to talk about, and your taxes. Bring in a copy of last year's taxes. Okay? All right, Julie, can you hand out the cards, please? All right, so now, as we start wrapping this up, I'm going to ask you for a favor. First of all, did I fulfill all my promises that I promised at the beginning? Okay. Now I'm going to ask you for a favor. Julia's going to hand out index cards, and I've been doing this for a couple of years now since I've been public speaking. I keep improving, and this way you guys get the best of me every single night. This is what I call a feedback form, okay? You don't put your name on this. I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and if you would just answer those questions and then turn them over, and Julia will pick them up. This is simply for us to get better, and I appreciate your honesty. Please be honest. You're not going to hurt my feelings. So here's 3 questions, okay? Question number 1. On a scale of 1 to 10, how valuable was tonight? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being very and 1 being not at all. Number 2, what was your best tech takeaway for tonight? What was your best takeaway or aha? Was there anything tonight that on the way home, driving home, you're going to be talking to your husband or wife and say, you know what, this is really a good idea, we should look into this. And finally, number 3, what would have made tonight even better? What would have made, is there something that I could have talked about? Could the room have been a little warmer, right?
Yeah.
Is there something that I would have made even better? I'll give you a moment to fill that out. All right, so here, now at this point, okay, you should be pretty close to understanding whether or not you're a good candidate to come in and meet with me. Let me be really clear. This is who should not come and meet with me, okay? If you're someone that's happy with your financial plan, you're happy with your tax plan, and you have no concerns about your finances, don't come and meet with me, right? If you're happy with what you're doing, who am I to say do it differently, right? So don't come in. This is who should come and meet with me. There's really 4 categories of people. If you fall in one of these 4, or a lot of people fall in multiples of these, come in and meet with me. I can probably help you, okay? Number 1, you have money sitting in bank accounts, what I call lazy money, and you're not earning any money on it, come in, I can help you, okay? Number 2, you feel like you have too much money in risk and fees, or you have a straight 401k, and you're not really sure what you have, come in, I can help you. If you have a variable annuity, please come in, I can definitely help you. Okay? If you checked off yes when I was talking about taxes on how to, what I call a tax exit plan, come in, I could definitely help you. Okay? And now let's finish up with page 8. Okay? Again, 3 things that I do. This is what our clients like. This is what I believe in. Number 1, protection of principal from market declines. Number 2, a reasonable rate of return. And number 3, we keep it simple. Thank you very much. I'm going to take a quick break, and don't forget to look out for those yield signs on the way home tonight.